Well, let's check in on now with Mr. Weather himself. That is Eric Hunt. He's standing by, our Market Journal meteorologist. Eric, some beautiful weather again this week. So I ask you again, is this our fake spring or some winter-like temperatures going to return in the forecast soon?
Thanks, Bryce. I see spring and winter in the forecast for us next week. Let's start with the spring. So Sunday, Monday, going to be quite warm across the state. Monday especially, I think parts of southeastern Nebraska may even push 75 to 77 degrees. Temperatures up in the 70s, probably as far north as the Nebraska-South Dakota border. Probably a little bit cooler out here in the Panhandle. As we move into Tuesday, things should probably cool off a little bit as a cold front moves through. But before that, though, we are going to be accumulating some GDDs at base 50. So again, things have already kind of started waking up a little bit this week. And early next week, it looks like with temperatures getting the 70s for a couple of days, we're really going to start to see some things wake up and maybe potentially in some winter wheat in parts of southern Nebraska. As we head into the early portion of next week, we'll have a sharp trough moving to the western U.S. by early Tuesday. That will start quickly moving its way into the central U.S. Right now, it looks like that storm system will probably develop further to our east, so that's probably going to put us out of the area of the heaviest precipitation and probably at a low or to no risk of severe weather. That's how things look like right now on Wednesday. And it does look like we will have a chance of light snow in parts of the state, central and eastern Nebraska, Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. If this storm slows up a little bit and the low pressure develops closer to Colorado and southwest Kansas, that would open up flow for more of the state, and eastern Nebraska could definitely be in store for some more precipitation, maybe even some severe weather. So again, I would pay close attention to the forecast as we head in the early portion next week. Right now, though, I think it looks like most of the heavier precipitation will be to our east. It will be relatively warm, so once that cold front goes through, it will be much colder next Wednesday, but by Friday, Saturday next week, it looks like we'll be bouncing back into warm territory, probably back in the 60s for a good portion of the state by next Saturday. So we are expecting above average temperatures to continue through early March. But it looks like we are entering a more active pattern, though, so I do anticipate us having more periodic spells of cooler weather as we head into the month of March, and we are probably going to remain a little bit stormier. Again, the CPC in the 8 to 14-day outlook going into early March is showing above average precipitation being a possibility for a good portion of the state. So if this next round doesn't really give us much, there's going to be subsequent rounds of precipitation that will be possible across the state. Rates of precipitation, again, some snow across the northern portion of the state late last week. Other places just saw minimal precipitation. Again, it's been relatively dry, especially across eastern Nebraska the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've had very, very little snowfall across most of the state this month, with the exception of the Panhandle parts of north central Nebraska. So again, we have setting probably record low snowfall totals here across a lot of the I-80 corridor from Grand Island over toward Omaha. In terms of where we've gone for drought here in the last 6 months, so this is the start of the water year from basically October 1st through now. We have seen some degradation in parts of southeastern Nebraska, and this is mostly a reflection of how dry it was last fall. Kind of a similar story out there in parts of southwestern Nebraska. But again, we've seen a lot of the state has seen improvement, with the biggest improvements coming here in northeastern Nebraska. A lot of this is a reflection of we've really, really improved soil moisture in this part of the state since last fall. Now, again, we still have a way to go before we are fully recharged, and we are seeing things kind of tick back downward a little bit here across east, central, and southeastern Nebraska, where we've been well above average and dry here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we are going to start needing more precipitation moving in the region with these warm temperatures. Soil temperatures right now, again, are quite warm across most of the state, mostly mid-30s to low 40s. Last week I showed the precipitation outlooks for the spring. Right now, it looks like CPC is calling for kind of equal chances for warm and cold for our area for the spring. The NMME, though, is showing temperatures being a little bit more mild. I'm banking on it being a little bit more mild most of the spring. Thanks. Back to you, Bryce.